For those of you watching anime this season, or even last season, you might have come across some anime that are just delayed indefinitely. Why is that? Well, in order to answer that question, I'm going to bring the real world's current status into the equation. Wait, the real world? That's legal. Nah, but memes aside, the main problem is due to the current COVID situation in East Asian countries. By the way, keep in mind that everything I'm saying here is as an outsider and third party, purely based on news articles, data statistics, and Twitter. Yeah, I know one of them is not like the other, but I don't live in Japan, so I don't know what the reality is like over there. So if anyone of my viewers do live there and can comment below on the current situation, that would be appreciated. So currently there is, and recently was, a huge resurgence in COVID in East Asian countries, notably Japan and China. I believe it's the Omicron variant finally reaching these countries since they were previously very isolated from the rest of the world. Everyone is very familiar with China's no exposure policy, so it's understandable why no one had immunity over there. But what about Japan or Korea? Well, actually, South Korea dealt with the Omicron variant early last year when it finally spread over there, so they are mostly through that and kind of have immunity. Japan, on the other hand, recently made a huge policy change. Remember how they closed borders to tourists for years due to the pandemic? Well, recently they reopened those borders to tourists on October 11th, 2022. Now let's see when the COVID cases started resurging over there. Surprise, surprise. Looks like it happened not even 2 weeks after the borders reopened, which if I remember correctly is the incubation period. It's understandable considering Japan did not have extreme cases like the US from the initial outbreak because their response was very quick and they were also a very sanitary country to begin with. Remember, Japan was one of the few countries that had a mask policy for sick people even before COVID was a thing. My point is that now that borders reopened, COVID is spreading again, and there's really not much that can be done without immunity, so this is probably going to last for a while and might impact future anime seasons too. So far, I haven't seen it affecting the gaming industry much, but let me know if I'm unaware of any impacts. I know of a few games that were impacted during the initial COVID outbreak, like Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm pretty sure that was mainly due to the workers moving over to remote work and not having the necessary equipment to do their job. Anyway, so why does China matter here as well? Well, a lot of the studios actually outsource to Chinese studios. I'm not sure about the exact reason why. Maybe cheaper labor or faster animation or just more staff. Could be anything. But the bottom line is that some studios are very reliant on these third-party studios for part of their animation. It also doesn't help that some of these anime aren't very popular or profitable, and so these studios with their limited budgets can't just drop extra money to finish the anime with the newer staff. Another point to add is that most of the delayed anime are actually being produced by Aniplex, so it is mainly with some relation to Aniplex and Chinese studios that a lot of these anime are struggling. So far, only 3 anime seem to be struggling from the Aniplex end, and there is one other anime unrelated to Aniplex. I'll start with the one unrelated, and also Patient Zero. Isekai Ojisan. This thing has been delayed since summer 2022. It's almost been half a year, and it's really unfortunate because it was a great anime. I think this anime had 2 issues actually. One was the COVID issue which delayed the anime, and second was scheduling issues afterwards. After the initial issue with COVID, as you can see in this news post on their official site here, they used their broadcasting slot to rebroadcast previous episodes, and then they continued to rebroadcast again from episode 1 after that week. Then they finally got to broadcasting episode 8 months after, and they got all the way to episode 12, but that was when the anime season ended, and it was probably also the end of the broadcasting slot that they reserved, and another anime from the next season took over that slot, which is why they were not able to release the last episode until the end of winter 2023 when other anime are already over. Just a bunch of issues all around with this anime, but it looks like the end is in sight with the final episode airing on March 8th. Now, the first Aniplex anime to get delayed was the Nier Automata anime, only after 3 episodes of the anime's release. Here on this tweet, you can see that they're mentioning it's due to the recent spread of a new coronavirus infection. Actually, in reality, they got cancelled after the sex scene that they had in episode 3. Just kidding, but imagine. Thankfully, the delay was not that long, and it looks like it'll be resuming on February 18th. Now here's the issue though, we all saw what happened with Isekai Ojisan and the scheduling conflicts afterwards. We might have to expect something similar for the Nier anime and the other 2 as well. The next delay is with Ayakashi Triangle, which was also an Aniplex produced anime, delayed after episode 4. Though honestly, this might be okay considering the censorship was so heavy in this anime, so people were already waiting for the Blu-ray uncensored version, though this probably also means that the uncensored version will also be delayed. Unfortunately, there is currently no return date in sight for this anime yet. Finally, we have the Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2, which was the most recently postponed anime from Aniplex, which was delayed after episode 6. It's also citing COVID as a reason for the delay from this tweet. There have not been many news of it returning anytime soon, but like I said before, even if these anime do return this season, I'm having doubts on whether they can complete the entire anime season without further delays since scheduling conflicts could arise. That's just my worry though. Now, this isn't the first time Aniplex has had issues with delays in their anime. Two others that I can remember are the 86 anime and the Wonder Egg Priority anime. Both were delayed to the next season, where 86 ended fine, but I think they rushed a random ending for Wonder Egg Priority because the ending did not make any sense compared to the rest of the anime, and maybe with those delays some issues with production were also rising. So anyways, the main issue is COVID, and it's probably due to the borders reopening, and it's gonna be something we gotta deal with now and will probably improve over time, but the anime that have been delayed so far are definitely going to take further hits. Not to mention, this brings to worry about future anime like the Solo Leveling anime, which is planned to release this year and is produced by Aniplex, and the studio is even 81 Pictures, which had a delay with the Nier anime. Just some worries to keep in mind. Anyways, that's it from me, and let me know if I missed any anime that are delayed, and also keep an eye out on my best winter 2023 anime video, which will be coming out shortly. I haven't had much time to work on editing it yet, so it's taking some time. But thank you all for watching this video, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.